Alexander Zaichenko, you were an advisor to the USSR Council of Ministers and have had a distinguished political career. You are author of a book entitled Christianity as a Means of Economic Renewal of the USSR. Could you tell me more about yourself, how you became a Christian, whether you were raised as a Christian or whether you had a sudden conversion?
I was raised in a completely non-Christian family. You see, the matter is, a majority of Russian people are not atheists, and we're not atheists, never. We are so-called passive agnostics. I belong to the family of, so to say, employees, and we were, my family and thousands and millions of such families were isolated from the church, from Christianity, from faith. So nobody in my family knew something about Christ. But you see, there was a question in my heart, in my soul, why I'm here on the earth? What is the reason that I was born here? And I kept asking this question to myself. And when I was a student, I remember I was a student in university, I tried to ask this question my professor in philosophy. We call it Marxist-Leninist philosophy. And I asked him, what is the reason of man's life on this earth? And he returned to the audience and told, comrades, look upon this student. He gave us an example of uncorrected question. Because, you see, he has an idealistic approach, and you should not follow this vision. So that's why I stopped asking such questions and try to find these answers in books, in philosophical studying, in philosophical works. And still it was a question. It continues till the time the friend of mine smuggled a Bible from the West, a Russian pocket-sized Bible, and the first time I took Bible in my hands, it was in 1978, and I started to read it. And since I remember I started from the book of Matthew. It was Matthew chapter 1, and I thought to myself, oh, probably atheists were right. How uninteresting and dull such book is. There is a lot of names in succession of Jewish names, who born whom, and I thought, okay, it's not very interesting book to read. But when I came to chapter 4 and chapter 5, I realized to myself that probably it is a book where I can find my answers to my questions. So since then I regard myself as a Christian. Every day I started to read the Bible, and only through Bible I choose not only Christ, I choose my confession, I choose my church. And but it took me 7 years more to find my church, because nobody around me for the whole decades, there were no Christian who will lead me. So first time I went to the church in Tallinn, Estonia, and I found myself as in foreign country. There was a lot of non-Russians who speak non-Russian language. So I was brave enough to come to the church and to speak and to listen to the service and to sing. I was very happy and very joyful. Then I returned to Moscow, and I said to myself, Alexander, you must be brave here in Moscow. See, it's a time for you to find your church and to be with your brothers together. So, but it's impossible. See, I have no information. It was not information in inquiry office, no telephone booths you can find at church. But church screened me. They told me that even though you are non-communist, it was very dangerous for you to be revealed, because they will sack you immediately. And so they tried to find the way to baptize me. It was impossible to be baptized in the church because it was the only one church in central Moscow, and all names were reported to KGB. The general secretary of the Baptist Union, whom I choose as my father, so to say, and at last we decided to be baptized in my flat, because at that time I received my flat, my separate flat, not in communal room as I lived before that. I lived in with the family of 4 in 3 families room, sharing with families one kitchen. So it was in 1986, and me and my wife, we were baptized in our bathtub, and so officially I became a member of church, but still I was screened. Nobody in the church knew something about me. And only in 1985, in 1989, it was decided for me to be revealed completely. I became a member of Bible Society board, of the board of Bible Society. I became a member of openly of church, and it's miracle. At the same time, in this very year, I was invited to become an advisor to the government.